So today, yesterday we discussed about the ASM. So remaining components we will discuss today. So the component is group services. So ASM depends on the group services provided by Oracle Clusterware in both clustered and non-clustered environment. So this group service basically allow to coordinate or cooperating application like ASM instance and database instances and to communicate in a peer environment and to discover the status of other application. So for ASM, the group services, so what is that? Enable the database instance to locate the ASM instance along with the credential to the ASM instance for establishing an OCI connection means Oracle Call Interface. Okay, so it will provide assistance in performing log recovery, and the ASM instance maintains certain logs on behalf of database instance. If a database instance were to fail, ASM uses the group services of OCSSD.bin to confirm that all databases processes are terminated before releasing the log. Or and if there are many logs, then it will release many logs. Okay, and then offer a guarantee that the ASM disk group number that is assigned to a disk group name at runtime is unique. Okay, so the group services will monitor also node membership, eviction, and cluster locks. And Oracle Clusterware is responsible for node membership and heartbeat monitoring, basic cluster locking, and node eviction. And it is also responsible for startup and shutdown of the ASM instance, and along with dependent database instances and resources, as well as the resources on which ASM depend, right? So generally Oracle Clusterware is starting stopping instance, ASM instance, mounting and dismounting this group, mounting and dismounting ACFS volumes, starting and stopping dependent database instances. So that is Oracle Clusterware is responsible for that. Clear, guys? So interview question may be which will be responsible for starting and stopping dependent database instance when ASM instance is stopped or failed, something like that. So you can say that Oracle Clusterware, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now another component is disk group. That is very important concept. Without ASM disk group understanding, you can't manage the clusterware. You can't handle the ASM disk related issues, file related issues. So basically, this is the fundamental object of ASM that ASM manage. Okay. So the ASM disk group consists of one or more ASM disk. Basically, it provides the space and it is the fundamental object, as I said, and each disk group contains its own metadata first. Okay, and logging information that is required for management of space within that disk group. So files are allocated from disk groups. Any Oracle ASM file is completely contained within a single disk group, but this group might contain files that belong to several databases. Please remember that. If you see, if you remember my last session, where two database instances resided in one disk. Okay, so that's why it is telling that. So that is another interview question, that where in ASM disk another database files can reside. So answer is yes. Okay, and single database can use files from multiple disk groups, and that is another important point. And for many installation, you need only a small number of disks, usually two, and rarely more than three. So minimum two and maximum three. Okay, And mirroring basically, uh, if you see the slide, so it will support three disk group redundancy level. Normal defaults to internal two-way mirroring. High defaults to internal three-way mirroring. External uses no ASM mirroring. It will depend on RED, that is operating system features, and it support ASM file for multiple databases. So we had three redundancy level in ASM. When you install, you need to check and you need to click on that particular redundancy level. So when you create a disk group, you basically specify Oracle some disk group based on redundancy level. So normal, high, and external. Clear? So the redundancy level controls how many disk failures are tolerated without dismounting the disk group or losing the data. So suppose if any disk is failed, so Oracle or Clusterware will not dismount the disk group or losing the data if you are using redundancy level. So the disk group type determines the mirroring level with which Oracle creates files in a disk group. Clear? This disk group is clear, or any doubt, any question?
It's clear.
Now, okay, thank you. Now, another ASM disk group is failure group. So, what is the meaning of failure group? Basically, it is a subset of the disk in a disk group which could fail at the same time because of shared hardware. So failure groups enable mirroring of metadata and user data. So two important points. It will mirror the metadata as well as user data also. Metadata which is related to the disk, and user data which is related to the tables, objects which user is creating. Okay, and the failure of common hardware must be tolerated if you are using mirroring, and four drives that are in a single removal tray not protected with red should be in the same failure group because the tray could be removed, so making all four device fail at the same time. Drives in the same cabinet could be in multiple failure groups. So if the cabinet has redundant power and cooling, so that it is not necessary to protect against failure of the entire cabinet. So if you read the line failure groups creation plus every disk in its own failure group, multiple disks can be placed in a single failure group, and failure group apply only to normal and high redundancy disk group. So remember that it will not apply on the external redundancy. So failure group basically are used to mirror copies of data. When ASM is used for mirroring by declaring the disk group redundancy to be normal of high at creation time. So normal redundancy disk group require at least two failure group to implement two-way mirroring of files, and high redundancy disk group require at least three failure group to implement three-way mirroring of files. Okay, and there is a word quorum. What is that? Any idea? A quorum failure group basically contains copies of voting files when they are stored in normal or high redundancy disk group. And there are another thing, there are always failure group even if they are not explicitly created. If you do not specify a failure group for a disk, the disk is placed in its own failure group, with a failure group name that is the same as the disk name. Got it? Therefore, if 20 disks were in a single disk group, there could be 20 failure group as well. Okay, so failure groups have meaning only when they are used with normal or high redundancy disk group, and all failure group within the same disk group should be created with the same capacity to avoid space allocation problems. Clear about failure groups or any question? Okay, I think
Just one. So failure group will be created only if we use mirroring, correct?
if we use normal and high redundancy, so we called as upper name normal and high redundancy. So failure group
Okay.
you can say used when you use redundancy level, but which redundancy, normal or high? For external group, failure group will not be quoted.
Okay, got it.
And then later on you can say that it is used for mirroring and striping, because normal means two-way mirroring and high means three-way mirroring, right? So in one group it requires two disks, in one group it requires three disks. Got it? And now next component is ASM disk. So ASM disk basically the main storage device which provision to ASM disk group, and they are not always the same as physical disk. There are live sources for ASM disk, and what is that? A disk or partition from storage array, an entire physical disk, or individual partitions of a physical disk, logical volume that is LV, or logical units that is LAN, network attached files that is NFS, extra data grid disk. So ASM uses the ASM disk name, not the OS name, first point, and that is assigned to the disk when is added to the ASM disk group. So ASM disk names allows a common logical naming convention to be used, and every ASM disk is divided into allocation unit. That is very important component. So allocation unit is the fundamental of unit of allocation within the disk group, and a file extent consists of one or more allocation unit. Sorry, and when uh, each file extent is allocated to a single ASM disk, an ASM file consists of one or more extent. So when you create this group, you can set the ASM allocation unit by which parameter? Interview question. Guys, answer me please. Did you get my question?
Uh,
Okay. AU underscore size. So that is attribute, disk attribute. Its value can be 1, 2, 4, 8, 6, 16, 32, and 64 MB, depending on the disk group compatibility level. Larger AU sizes typically provide performance advantage for data warehouse application that uses large sequential read. So ASM spread files evenly across all the disks in the disk group. The allocation pattern maintains every disk at the same capacity level and the same IO load. So different ASM disks should not share the same physical drive. Important point. Now this table is very important. Another ASM component is ASM files. So ASM files basically a limited set of the types stored in ASM disk group. These files are not created directly by ASM, but ASM automatically generates the file name, and ASM file name begin with a plus sign, which followed by a disk group name, and the file name will contain the name of the database that created, and it along with a file type qualifier name. So if suppose you had plus group slash db name slash file type tag dot file dot incarnation, like this naming will come. So if suppose you had a plus sign as the root directory of the ASM files, then slash on Linux system. So Linux qualified name will be suppose plus dg d group 2 prod control file, then slash, then current, then dot 256, then 5495647, like that. I hope you have seen in your production environment. Okay, so if you see the chart, there is a control file, data file, temporary data file, online redo file, archive log file, ASM, DB password file, flashback logs, DBSP file, RMAN backup set, RMAN data file copies, transport data files, data pump set, data card configuration, change tracking bitmaps, disaster recovery configuration, and ASM SP file. So what are those? These are the files which can be stored in ASM disk group, and each ASM file must be contained with a single disk group, but a single Oracle database can have files in multiple disk group, and you can specify user-friendly aliases for ASM file by creating a hierarchical directory structure and use the directory name as prefix to the file name. So that is recommendation to understand of the disk, because if it is like that current underscore current dot 256 then 541, so how you can recognize that? If you put into the control file folder, then you can recognize that, okay, this is the control file, right? So this is the way you can handle this situation. So remember, these files will support ASM files. Now, as I talk about extent map, okay. So basically, ASM files have extents and striping, and the contents of ASM file are stored in a disk group as a set or a collection of data extents that are stored on individual disk within disk group. So each extent reside on an individual disk. Extent consists of one or more allocation unit. So the to accommodate increasingly large file, ASM uses variable size extents. Okay. So what is the meaning of variable size extents? That variable size extent enables support for larger Oracle ASM data files, reduce SGA memory requirements for very large databases, and improve performance for file create and open operations. So the initial extent size is equal to the allocation unit size, and it increased by a factor of 4 or 16 at a predefined threshold. Okay, so see that the data extent size is equal to AU. So the first extent is 20,000 value, then equal to 4 into AU for the next 20,000, then equal to 16 into AU for extent above 40,000. So this is clear, because as I said that it is increased by factor of 4 or 16. So minimum you had 20,000 extent. So 4 into AU and then 16 into AU. Okay. Any doubt? And for striping, so in striping we have two methods: coarse grained striping and fine grained striping. So can anyone tell me what is the difference between that, or you heard first time? Yes. So striping is basically based on coarse method for load balancing and fine method to reduce latency. So that is the difference. Okay. So let me elaborate more. So ASM uses coarse granted striping to balance load across all the disk inner disk group, and fine grade is striping to reduce IO latency. Coarse grained stripes are always equal to the effective AU size, and effective AU size is the AU size defined by a disk group at creation. It can vary for each disk group, and fine grained stripe size always equal to 128 KB. So this is the another difference. And fine grained stripe is taken from within a series of coarse grain stripes. Control file uses fine grain striping by default. So interview question. And all other file types uses coarse grain striping. So this default striping method of coarse grain or fine grain can be changed with custom template. So that is another interview question. So clear this extends and striping concept. Now come to mirroring. So as I said that mirroring is specified at the file level, and mirroring provides data integrity by storing copies of data on multiple disks that are isolated from a single failure. So ASM is mirroring is more flexible than RAID mirroring. RAID is basically OS concept. So because you specify the redundancy level for each file within a disk group, so two files can share the same disk group with one file being mirrored while the other is not. Okay. So if you see that if your disk group is normal, then you have mirroring level two-way, three-way, and unprotected. Then default mirroring is two-way. When you have high redundancy, then you have three-way and default three-way. When you have external redundancy, then it has unprotected mirroring supporting and default mirroring unprotected. So ASM allocates extents for a file with the primary and mirrored copies in different failure group. Okay, so when ASM allocate an extent for normal redundancy file, that is two-way mirroring, so it allocate a primary extent and a secondary extent. Okay, so ASM chooses the disk on which to stores the secondary extent in a different failure group other than the primary extent. So therefore, simultaneously failure of all disks in a failure group does not result in data loss. So say table which I have read earlier. So that is the differentiation between three-level disk group type. So with external redundancy disk group, ASM basically rely on the RAID functionality. So any write error will cause basically a force dismount of the entire disk group. That is interview question. With normal redundancy, a loss of one ASM disk is tolerated. With high redundancy, a loss of two ASM disks in different failure group is tolerated because ASM require at least one disk. If no disk is available, then it will fail the entire disk group. Got it? So from where you can check about this? So there is a view v dollar ASM under this group. In that there is a column required underscore mirror underscore free underscore MB. It will indicate the amount of space that must be available in a disk group to restore full redundancy after the worst failure that can be tolerated by the disk group without adding additional storage. Clear? Say yes or no. Now another component is ASM client. Okay, so what is that? If suppose you have database instance that is using ASM storage and that is currently connected to the ASM instance, that is basically ASM client. Okay, so ASM instance is called as ASM client because it is connected to ASM database instance. Okay, so there is no other meaning of ASM client. Clear this ASM client? Thanks, Rajkumari. Okay, and connected by using ASM LST disk underscore command, and you can see $ASM client dynamic performance view. So each file in ASM is associated with a single database. So if you see that ASM instance is supporting database A instance, database B instance, database C instance, it is also storing OCR, and in that ADVM is also there and ACFS is mounted. So like that, these are the things is inside the ASM client. Any question? Are you guys tired?
No.
Okay. Then ASM utilities. So how you can manage this ASM? So we have Oracle Universal Installer. Then we have ASM Configuration Assistant. Both are graphics. Then OEM, that is also a graphics. Then SQL Star Plus, that is command line. Then ACM CMD, that is command line. And then SRVCTL, server controller utility. So that is also a command line. So you can manage ASM by 6 ways. 3 are graphics and 3 are command line. So for command line, you need to know the command. Okay, clear? So how you can start the ASM by command line, and how you can stop the ASM instance by command line. So that is basically by this way: SQL Star Plus, ASM CMD, and SRVCTL. Okay. Are you listening first time this ASM? Because I feel that this is first time you are doing this. And also in previous slide, if you see OCR is a file and voting file that are stored in ASM. So are listed as an ASM client with the name plus ASM, and ADVM volumes are ASM client, and the file system must be dismounted before the instance can be shut down. So ASM volume have its client name ASM vol. Okay, and many utilities are capable of connecting to the ASM instance to perform administration, and these utilities are sometimes referred to as ASM client, but they will not appear in the dynamic performance view, that is $ASM client. So these are referred to ASM utilities, and we will discuss later on. And also, yes, that's it. Now ASM system privileges. So we have system privileges that is Because tell me, interview question, ASM have data dictionary or not? ASM instance contains data dictionary or not? No, as of now. ASM instance does not have a data dictionary. So the only way connected to an instance is by using one of three system privileges, that is sysASM, sysDBA, and sysoper. So these are the privileges by that you can connect to ASM instance. Okay. So sysASM group belongs to OASM, sysDBA belongs to OSDBA, sysoper belongs to OSOper. So if you have sysASM privileges, then you have full administrative privileges. If you have sysDBA ASM privileges, then you can access to data stored on ASM. Then you can create and delete file. Then you can grant and revoke file access. And if you have sysoper privileges only, then you have limited privileges to start and stop the ASM instance. Along with you can alter this group commands. So sys user on ASM is automatically created with the sysASM privileges. Important point. Clear? So by default, ASM CMD attempt to connect as a sysDBA based on the OS group. This is another tricky interview question. And user who are granted the sysoper privileges on the system ASM instance are allowed to start up, shut down, mount, dismount, and check this group, but cannot repair. And other operation is like create this group and add, drop, resize this group, or yeah. So these privileges require sysASM privileges, and these things cannot done by the sysoper. So during installation, ASMS NMP user with sysDB privileges is created for monitoring the Oracle ASM instance. So that is important point. So ASMS NMP user will do the monitoring of ASM instance with sysDBA privileges, and it is automatically created. Clear, guys? And ASM OS group with rule separation. So when you are installing grid infrastructure, so you can create these groups. Otherwise, you can go with only one group. Okay. So group is OS ASM, OS DBA, OS OPER. So that for ASM, and ORA inventory group, that is for both OSDBA, that is for DB, OSOPER, that is for DB. And example of OS group is ASM admin. So when we install the grid software, before that we create ASM admin, ASM DBA, ASM OPER, O install DBA OPER. Okay. And everyone has a privileges. SysASM, SysDBA, SysOPER, and O install has no privileges. And then again DBA and OPER has SysDBA and OPER privileges. So remember these things. So on the installation time, don't ask why this group is created. Okay. So that's why I'm covering this time. Then this is the way you can authenticate to access the ASM instance. So we have local connection by using operating system authentication. Then you can connect uh, slash as sysASM or slash as sysoper. If you have password file authentication, then you can pass the sys connect sys and then sys password, then as sysASM. If you are connecting through remote by Oracle Net Services, so password based authentication is also supported remotely by using the Oracle Net Service name. So you can use SQL Plus, username, password, and Net Service name as sysASM and as sysDBA, right? Now, ASM, CMD, and authentication. So as I said that this is the command utility, and in that we require before login running ASM CMD, log into the host containing the OSM instance, and you must log in as a user that has sysASM or sysdba privileges. Then you can use this command line utility. And sysASM privileges is required connecting to administer the Oracle ASM instance. If the ASM instance is not running, ASM CMD run only those commands that does not require ASM instance. So like startup, shutdown, ls, disk, help, and exist. And you can connect as a sysdba by running ASM CMD that is located in the bin directory, and include the privileges option to connect as sysdba. So you can write ASM CMD ASM CMD and then privileges and then sysdba. So if ensures that Oracle home and Oracle SID environment variable refer to the Oracle instance, and ensure that bin subdirectory of Oracle grid infrastructure home is your path environment variable. And to use most of the SMD command, ensure that ASM instances started and Oracle ASM disk group are mounted. Clear?
Yes.
Then password based authentication for ASM, as I said, you can use a password file, or can one work for both remote and locally. So remote login password file, this must be set of value other than none. That will enable remote password based authentication. And password file is created initially by Oracle Universal Installer, where you install grid infrastructure that will install ASM. And manually you can create by Aura PWD utility. I hope you know that. And it will contain only the sys and ASMS NMP user. Okay. And a user you can add to the password file by using star plus command grant, and you can use ASM CMD or a PW user command. So this is the way. So suppose you are creating a new user, then grant the sys oper privileges, like create user username identified by password, and then grant sys oper to new user. So that will store information in the password file. And with ASM CMD, you can type ASM CMD or a PW user, then add, then privileges, then system, and then new username. Okay, like that you can go there. And you can use single OS group for this purpose. So either you can use single OS group for all ASM user, so that is Oracle, or you can give only the Oracle. So the recommended groups for Oracle user in this case are primary group should be O install, and the secondary group will be DBA. So the disk devices are owned by Oracle user. So Oracle OS user must connected to the database as a sysdba, and the ASM instance as a sysASM. So there is no separation of duty. The same user can perform all management functions on the ASM instance and both the database. So if you see the table, software owner is Oracle, and home 1, home 2, and owner, disk owner, and then you had group DBA slash sysASM sysdba sysoper, sysASM sysdba sysoper, sysASM sysdba sysoper, and DBA. So like that, you can create the group and assign the privileges. Now separate OS group. So either you can go for separate. So this is the way you can go separate. You can create grid user, you can create Oracle 1 user, you can create Oracle 2 user, and you can create grid. And after that, group will be ASM admin, ASM DBA, ASM Oper, then DBA1. Then for Oracle, ASM DBA, Oper 1, DBA1, ASM DBA, Oper 2, DBA2, and ASM admin. And with that, privileges is there. So you had 2A. Okay. And this is another important concept, ASM scalability. So ASM has the storage limits if the compatible .asm this group attribute is set to 12.1 or greater. So in that case, we have 511 disk group in a storage system. We had 10,000 ASM disk in a storage system, and for each ASM disk, we had 4 petabyte. PB means petabyte, 8 petabyte, 10 peta, 16 petabyte, and 32 petabyte. And for AU, 1 MB, 2 MB, 4 MB, 8 MB. And also you had 320 exabyte maximum storage for each storage system, and 1 million file you can use for each disk group. Okay, that is huge. And ASM file size limit and DB file limit is 128 TB, but ASM file size limit will depend on redundancy. If you have normal redundancy, then it will be 23 PB. If you had high redundancy, then it will be 15 PB. If you had external redundancy, it will be 140 PB. Okay. And in non-ASM, non-Exadata environment, ASM disk larger than 2 terabyte, but it required to compatible .asm set to 12.1, and only 12.1 database instances are supported for this. Okay, clear? Yes, so thank you. That's it about ASM. This is only the overview of architecture. So if you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, ASM architecture is finished. And these are my links where you can give the feedback. And whatever document I had added, these are online. So thank you.